Hi, this is Jeremy from Wireless World, and I'm going to show you how to play your old school Nintendo games on the big screen TV using your Droid X and your Wii remote controller. When the Droid X first launched with its HDMI output cable, I, like many other gamers, imagined the possibility of playing games like this on a big screen TV using our phone as the gaming console. Unfortunately, Motorola severely limited the output capabilities of the HDMI port, and releasing its full potential is a complicated process. There are a few videos out there that show you the final product, but I'm going to take you from start to finish so that you can do this on your own. Now bear in mind, this is a more complicated procedure than just downloading one or two apps, but take your time, read the notes on the screen, pause the video when you need to, and don't move on to the next step until you've completed the one before, and you'll be playing Nintendo from your Droid in no time. First, let's cover the equipment you need. Obviously, you need the Droid X or another phone with HDMI output capabilities. You will also need an HDMI, micro HDMI to HDMI cable. You can pick these up at your local Wireless World store or another electronics retailer or online, but make sure you get micro HDMI. The mini and the full-size HDMIs will not fit into the Droid. You also will need a Nintendo Wii remote controller. The nunchuck attachment is optional. It's not needed for the 8-bit Nintendo system, but if you are playing games and systems on more complicated systems like the Super Nintendo or the PlayStation, you may need more buttons, and the Nintendo nunchuck support will come in handy. You will also need a power supply to keep you charged up during those long gaming sessions, and of course, the television. Now let's cover the software that we need to make everything work. First, you need a Nintendo emulator. NESoid is the easiest one to find on the Android marketplace. The limited version is free, but the paid version is $2.99. I highly recommend the paid version because it allows you to create save points anywhere in the game. As video games have become more and more mainstream in the 21st century, they have also become much more forgiving than their early 8-bit counterparts. Not having to restart an entire level or game every time your character dies is well worth $3 for this app. Next, you need some Nintendo ROMs. Keep in mind that a video game emulator does not mean you get all of the games that came with that system at the initial download. Emulators are the digital version of the gaming console. ROMs are the digital version of the carts or the discs that you put into those consoles. You can download ROMs from various websites. Just Google Nintendo ROMs on your computer and you can copy them over to your computer and then onto your smartphone. Or you can just use an app from the marketplace. There are paid ones out there, but the one I tried and that works very well is ROM Gripper. It's free and dovetails very nicely with the NESoid app. There are emulators and ROMs available for a variety of other systems, and these tips can be used for playing any available system and game on your TV. ROM Gripper is able to search for ROMs for just about any system that the Android marketplace has an emulator for. The next app you will need is the Wiimote controller app. This app allows you to use your Wii controller to control your action during gaming. There are multiple marketplace apps that use this function, but I recommend the free Wiimote controller app. And finally, you need real HDMI. The Droid X comes with limited HDMI output support. It only outputs pictures and videos. Real HDMI from the Android marketplace allows full output of everything on the Droid screen to your big screen TV. Keep in mind that it's a bit glitchy. Once you start the app, it freezes your Droid screen and all of the actions happen on your TV. So there's a bit of guesswork as to where you have to press on the screen. Real HDMI costs $1.99, and if you need to take this process from start to finish, you are going to need to at least buy the Real HDMI app. Remember that all paid software from the Android marketplace comes with a 24-hour trial where you can be refunded for your purchases. So start this project when you have the time to make sure that you're purchased the right software and that you can use it properly, and if not, get your refund from the marketplace. Let's first start with the basics of getting an emulator up and running and ROMs installed and playing on your Droid. Even if you don't have a Droid X, you can install these programs and play games on any Android phone. The X is the only one that allows for HDMI output, at least on Verizon's network, and certain Samsung phones, especially those in the Galaxy S product line, might not work with the Wii Remote app, so use the parts of this video that apply to you and to your phone. First, download the NESoid app from your phone's Android marketplace. The paid version is not essential to start, but you may want to consider upgrading to that if you need the save point option. Find your favorite ROM by searching ROM Gripper. For this demonstration, we are going to use a program called Baseball Simulator 1000. It's a fun little baseball game if you remember the bit of nostalgia. If you've downloaded the ROM you want, you can play it right from the ROM Gripper app, provided you have the required emulator. Press the menu button on your phone and select Settings if you want to remap your keys to certain buttons on your keyboard. With the Droid X and other touchscreen phones, the keys are all on the on-screen display, so there's no need to remap. We will come back to this if you plan on using a Wii Remote. Now you're playing your old favorite video games on your Android smartphone, so stop here if you don't want to use a Wiimote or plug your phone into a TV. Next, we will connect your Wii Remote to your phone. First, make sure Bluetooth is powered on your phone. Open your Wiimote controller app, and on your physical Wiimote, open the battery door on the back of the Wii Remote and press the red pairing button. Go back to your phone, press Initialize and Connect on your Droid's app. If the app does not automatically prompt you the first time, you need to enable the Wii Remote. Press Menu, Settings, Language and Keyboard, and check the box that says Wii Controller IME. Now back out and go back into your Wii Remote Controller app and press the number 2 icon, select Wii Controller IME, and when you see Select Input Method, make sure that the Wii Controller IME is selected. Next, launch your NESoid app from the main menu. Press the menu button on your phone and select Settings. Choose Other Settings and scroll down to the bottom and check the box that says Use Input Method. This will allow you to use the Wii controller to control your video game system. Back out of the Settings menu and go into Input Settings. Next, select Key Mapping and scroll down to the different keys that you want to remap. Select the results you want to map to your controller and press the corresponding button on your Wii Remote. I believe at the initial setup you will need to remap the Start, Select, A, and B buttons, and I would recommend mapping them, of course, to your 1 and 2 buttons and your plus and minus buttons on the Wii Remote control. When you have remapped the buttons, return to the main screen or just close and relaunch the app, pick your favorite ROM or game, and start playing. Now that we've got our Nintendo emulator and a ROM or 2 downloaded, we've got our Bluetooth Wii Remote controller set up, and we've got our real HDMI program purchased and downloaded from the Android marketplace. Let's fire the whole thing up, connect it to the big screen TV, and play some video games. The first thing you need to do every time you launch or reconnect your Wii Remote controller is redo the Initialize and Connect sequence. So you hit the Initialize and Connect on your phone, red button on the Wii Remote, and wait until you see the Player 1 icon light up, and you are ready to go. Hit the home button on your Droid and launch your Nintendo app. I've already got Mario started, but let's just start it up from scratch. And as you can see, we're playing Nintendo right from the Nintendo Wii remote controller, but we want to get things a little bigger than that. So we'll go back to the home screen, grab our micro HDMI cable, plug it into the HDMI port, and launch the Real HDMI app. Now you're going to see one of two things on the screen, either detect or on the top of the screen in green. Just keep hitting that, and it will beep at you or buzz at you once to let you know that it's on. Now, if we look at our big screen television, we have everything that is on the Droid screen on the television. At this point, it is going to freeze up the screen, so you have to do a little bit of guesswork. Hit the home button, and once again we can see, if you didn't notice the first time, that everything is sideways on the screen. So we want to turn our phone sideways, give it a little bit of a shake so that we have everything properly displayed sideways on the screen. This is where we've got to do a little bit of guesswork, because we have to figure out kind of where that Nintendo NESoid emulator app or link is on the screen without knowing exactly where it is. So we kind of fiddle around here. And now we are playing a little bit of Super Mario Bros. 3 on the big screen TV with the Droid. And have fun. I don't have enough hands to play and just hold the camera at the same time, but you get the idea. Happy playing and have fun.